Previously, back in episode 22, I began a new 3D printing project, developing a tool change extruder, where I chose to use the H2V2S light hot end and connected it to a hermit crab mount. Now that project continues, and I will suffer through the Klipper installation process, but I do it for the people. So, if you want to know how I installed Klipper, stay tuned. And if you're new here, yes, go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and start watching from episode 1. It's best you're going to want to catch up with the continuity of the show. The first thing you are going to want to buy is a device capable of running a Linux-based operating system. You're going to want to pick up a Raspberry Pi. I went with the 4 Model B, and you're also going to need a power supply source that goes to the Pi. So what's up with the Raspberry Pi? Well, my friend, Klipper must be installed on the Linux device like your Raspberry Pi, and this Pi will essentially send commands to your control board where all of your 3D printer's components are plugged in. I know, it seems like the overall process is a mess and way more complicated than it should be.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
The first thing we need to do is set up our Raspberry Pi so that it is a Linux-based operating system. And to do this, you will need the Raspberry Pi Imager software from the link in the description of this video. Go through the setup process after you download it onto your computer. Once you have the Imager, you will need a storage card like a micro SD card and the SD card adapter. So you can plug this into your computer and run the Imager software. The Imager is going to write the operating system you are needing on your micro SD card. We just have to enter a few items to configure these settings correctly. The first step is your device. Find the name of your Raspberry Pi from the list. I selected the Raspberry Pi 4 and hit Next. For 3D printing, based on what I've seen on the internet, you can use a light operating system. So find the Raspberry Pi OS Other from the menu and click to expand your options. Choose the Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit and hit Next. In the storage step, make sure you are selecting the micro SD card that you will be using on the Raspberry Pi. The Imager will wipe clean the storage device you are selecting, so just make sure you are picking the right one to write on. Now we'll begin the customization part. We first need to create a host name so you will be able to find your printer on your network. You get to set the name here, and I call my device imprint-TL. That's my idea of what my future printer is going to be called, so I want it to show up like that on my network. So on this page, you're going to set your time-based settings just on the capital city, the time zone, and the keyboard layout that would be specific to where you are located. And now we need to create a username and a password so that we can log in to the Raspberry Pi. This is going to be a different name than your host name or the name of the device you're going to see on your network. Just think of this as a login, like a computer, but you're logging into your Raspberry Pi. On this page, we have to enter our internet or our network name and password so that our Raspberry Pi can connect straight to our internet or our network when we power it up. Enable SSH needs to be checked, and this just means that we will be able to connect to our Raspberry Pi from a computer once the Pi is on the network. So enable that. I left Pi Connect off and proceeded onwards to the end. With everything now filled out and selected, hit Write to start compiling your operating system to the storage device, the micro SD card that is plugged in already. You will get a warning, but this is typical before the writing begins. Once finished, hit Finish and eject the micro SD from the computer. And congratulations, we have now created an operating system to put on our Raspberry Pi. You know, it's a pretty straightforward process, and knowing my luck, I was kind of surprised nothing really seemed to hit the fan yet.
The shit's gonna hit the fan.
Now that we have our SD card with the operating system, we can place it into the back of the Raspberry Pi as shown. Now, once we connect the power to the device, our Raspberry Pi will automatically connect to our network based on the settings we had provided it, which means we can now connect to it. Which is important because this Raspberry Pi only has the operating system but no Klipper yet. So let's log into our Raspberry Pi and tell it to install Klipper. To log into our Raspberry Pi board, we need a program called Putty. Download the installer from the internet and run the file until Putty opens, and you will get a screen that looks like this. Putty will ask you to enter the device name on the network we are wanting to connect to. So if you remember, that is the host name we had created in the imager part. And my host name was the name of the printer that I was going to be making. So I used that name and put a .local on the end. It can be noted you can also use the IP address of the device on the network, but that's going to require you to look up this information based on your devices that are connected to your network. It's an extra step, but you can find your Raspberry Pi with an IP address, and you can use that number also as the host name. For me, I'm just going to use the host name I had set up in the first part. So this big black screen, this is basically Putty. And after you enter your host name, we're going to have to log into Putty using the information that we were using as the login information for our board from part 1. Here is where you enter the username first and then the password that we had created. You can see I actually get my password wrong because I'm awesome. And you're going to be asked to do it again. So once successful, log into your Raspberry Pi and we can now tell it to start downloading Klipper. The information to download Klipper is actually from another site, and there's going to be a code we take from this site and paste it here into the command line of Putty. This is the Klipper installation and update helper website. I'll post a link in the description of this video, but this is going to be the site that you go to get Klipper installed and updated on your Raspberry Pi. Scroll down to step 1 on the Klipper helper and installation website, and you will find the script to plug into Putty. And this script will download the Klipper helper, so click on the 2 boxes here and copy this script over and paste it by a single right click. Putty will then download the script. After this is completed, go back to the Klipper helper website and go to step 2. Copy this script by clicking on the 2 boxes, and again, go back into Putty and paste the script again by a single right click of the mouse. Let Putty do its thing again until it finishes. Finally, go back to the Klipper website and go to step 3. Copy the last script by clicking on the 2 boxes, paste this again into Putty, and this should boot up the Klipper installation helper. The first thing you can see is that I have nothing installed and the helper tells me that. So from the menu options we have available, one is the install menu. So I hit A1, enter, and I want to begin installing Klipper. So I press 1 again and hit enter. This begins the installation process, and you might have to put in some more additional inputs. Like for example, I hit 1 instance of Klipper is needed because I'm only setting up 1 printer. If you have more printers, every printer needs an instance of Klipper. So this could change depending on your situation. I also hit a Y for yes to create a printer.cfg file, but don't get too attached to that guy. We're going to end up replacing it later. Trust me.
When have I steered you wrong?
Recently?
I just do the same process now for Moonraker, Fluid, Mainsail, and Crow's Nest for 3D printing. I did some research and those are the most important we'll need. So now I'm just going to show those installation processes, and you will have to either define the default port or a yes or no question along the way. After everything is done, reboot your Raspberry Pi by turning off the power and then turning it back on. The final test to see how well you did is to open up Mainsail by going to the browser. Or of course you can use your IP address and hit enter. So ta-da! We have our device with a whole bunch of errors. Don't look at that. So there we have it. Klipper is installed on the Raspberry Pi, and we have it on an operating system. So now what? How does it work with the controller? What else do I need to do? Why does it take you so long to make a video? Man, I feel like these questions are getting a bit personal now. Well, my friends, who have made it this far in the video, but we're gonna need to break this into another video, and the installation process will continue to part 2. So you should come back for that. Or not. But you should.
Well, that was a complete waste of an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like and comment below. Be sure that you are subscribed to the main channel and check out my links, which are listed in the description below. I hope your 3D printing projects turn out awesome, and I'll see you all in the next episode.